Yo, yo. Let's see if we can get... Hey, we got a picture. How about that? Welcome to the Director's Garage. I am your resident idiot, Michael, and we are live today. We are live. Basically, what happened is... I couldn't get a video out this week, so I wanted to do something for y'all because I didn't get something out, and the reason is I've been working my butt off for work, so not much I can do about that, but hopefully you've got a picture if this is working. Y'all got something? I'm watching in the chat here. Let's go to some live music. This is the real one. Yes, this is the real one this time. I had started this about an hour ago just to test it. And of course, because I'm a software fool, I have no idea what's going on with this YouTube stuff. I launched a live stream and went, oh, wait a minute, that's for real. This actually counts, does it? So today, anyway, I want to tell you what we're going to do. I want to get off the air before Andrew starts his show at 10:30. So it's not going to be that long. I don't want to step on his toes. He does a much better job than I'll ever do at this. But we do have this. We have a live unboxing of a mystery package. I have no idea what is in this box, folks. This came in the mail. Normally, it kind of has some Linsol vibes because it's DHL, but I haven't. Usually I get an email from Lillian Dang saying, "Hey, we're sending you something." It didn't happen. This package just kind of showed up, so I'm like, I think it might be from Linsol, in which case, cha-ching, plug Linsol. But I don't know for sure because she didn't send me any email. So I'm not sure what's in here, but it feels like an IEM, so I'm going to guess it's from Linsol. But we don't know. So it's going to be a complete mystery. We're going to open that in a little bit. I've got the... Wait, let's find the thing. We've got this. We've got a live overhead camera. Look at this. A live overhead camera. So we're being really fancy today. And I can answer your questions if we're here. Hopefully we're here. Give me a text. Somebody send me a little note if this thing is actually up and working and you're seeing pictures and the color is flowing through the YouTube streams. Let me know. In the meantime, so yes, I've been really busy. I work for Entertainment Tonight, if you guys don't know, and my day job is directing interviews and stuff for that show. And in the process of that, I do these award shows that pop up every weekend. Well, because of COVID, everything got pushed like 3 weeks. Well, about 2 months, actually. And so all the award shows are stacking up now, week to week to week to week to week to week. And that's keeping me really busy because I run the red carpets. I run all of the platforms for these award shows for Entertainment Tonight. And that's kind of like a juggling act of getting stars up, doing interviews, sending them on their way. Plus, I have regular interviews that I'm doing throughout the week. And it's been very, very busy. So I've got the next episode. Episode 99 is about 3/4 done for those of you who were hoping to see that because it's clearly not happening today. That show is about 80-90% done. I've got another probably 3 or 4 hours of editing to go on it, and then that's probably going to go up Monday or Tuesday, and that's going to be a Carbon review, a full in-depth review of the Carbon, and it's a big episode. It's about 30 minutes. It's going to be a huge episode. I have a lot to say about that headphone. I'm very exciting about that, and so that'll be going up Monday or Tuesday. I normally would just post it Monday when it's ready, but I like to hold sometimes for Tuesday because you get a better audience. And if you know anything about this show needs viewers. So that's the thing. Okay, so let's take a look here. Okay, we appear to be actually playing. Okay, we're somebody from Mexico. Hey, Ulysses, nice to see you. Nice to see you. And a full tour of the garage at some point. Well, first of all, Howley's coming in. Howley, come here. Come on, buddy. Catus interruptus, Felinus interruptus. Howley is our resident stray. much like me. And we found him on the deck one day, and he was howling at the back door, and we just adopted him. So he lives here, he's in and out, and he brings me a lot of rats. So that's that. So that's pretty much, that's where we're at. That kind of sets the scene for today. Like I said, we're going to be off the air probably, and this is not going to go that long, because there's just not, you guys can't be that interested in this. Tour of the director's garage. Well, what can I show you on camera right now? This guy up here, this is for the, let's see, we can, it's going to be a little out of focus because this is a manual focus. This is an old school lens. But this is a preamp for the microphone. So this guy feeds into here. The cord, this is a Cord Hugo TT1. This runs my main system off of the computer. So if I'm editing, if I'm working on anything for work, because we log in to do our scripts and stuff for Entertainment Tonight, all of that plays back through the cord, and that goes into a big knob, which is down here. You can kind of see that. That controls the monitors in the room, which is currently off, so I don't get feedback. And then we go to Genelecs, which are my main monitors, my near-field monitors. I don't have far-field monitors, so I guess I could just say they're my monitors. And that's the main chain for the computer. Now this is the listening rig, which is up here, and the M scaler, which I showed way back many moons ago, and that goes into the TT2. That's a second version of the Hugo TT. Pardon me. Get some nectar. And then that goes over to the far side of the room, which is back here. And there's a Macintosh right here, which I would leave on for these things because they're really pretty, except the display goes dark if you're not feeding them any audio after about 3 minutes, so it's pointless. That goes into the GSX Mini and the Ferrum, the new Ferrum stack, and then that goes out to headphones. And then also I've got the Woo, which is way down below, which I'm not going to show you because then you see my feet. And I'm not wearing pants. No, I'm just kidding. I'm wearing pants. So that's that. That's a little bit of a tour of the garage. Now on the other side of the room, which I can't show you because I'd have to move all of this stuff out of the way, including the lighting and the camera and microphone, you know, it'd be a mess. I showed you a revamped image of what I did with the one corner. And then opposite that, I've got all of my records. I'm a big record collector. It's painful. I have probably 2,000 or 3,000 records here. I kind of lost count. And then I've got the cleaning apparatus, and then some personal stuff and photos and stuff and whatnot. And that's pretty much what's in here. And then over here, I've got the Mac behind this side. I've got monitors here and here, which you can't see. Well, maybe you can see it. Wait, let's see if I can do that. Let's see, where do we go? We got to get to this. Okay, so we're on overhead. So if I turn this overhead, which is trained down on at the screen, if I turn this, you can see the top of the monitor. That's one monitor. And oh, that's the, right there, that guy, that's the Symphony. That is what translates the sound out of the Universal Audio box into either analog or digital, depending on what I want to do. It's analog today. And then there's another monitor I've got right below. Whoop, and there we go. There's another monitor I've got right below the camera, so I can see what's going on with the stream, and I can read your stuff without being like obnoxiously looking over here or something. And then above that, I've got a monitor that, above the camera, I've got a monitor that shows me what I'm actually looking like. I can see if I've got a hair out of place, which, you know, not much up there these days. So that's that. That's kind of the basic tour of the. I'll do a full tour maybe someday on as an episode, but for now, that's what you get. Hope that was reasonable or interesting or anything. Hello from Cali, Daniel Foster. Hello, how are you? Cat review. Yes. Howley, he just ran out. He came in, ate his food, and like, I'm done with you, dude. And he got rained on the other day, which was hysterical. He's a very tough cat until it starts raining, and then he's like, let me in. Standalone folder. Yes, we'll do that. We'll do that. That's a good idea. So what do you say we dig into this box here? This package, right? Whoop, I'm going to be on this thing. That's the problem, is having all this stuff around. Okay, so let's dig into this box right here. This is, like I said, this is a mystery package, and this came to me by way of the mail. Sorry. And I don't know what it is. I really don't know what this is. I just know that it is a DHL package. So let's dig in. I don't have a quote or anything because normally I edit all this stuff together. So we're going to do it live, and I will do it sans reference. And we'll just dig into it. What do you say? I love digging into things with a sharp knife. And we've got another layer of stuff. Oh, here we go. Here we go. We've got, look at that, kids. Look at that, kids. Bubble wrap. Beyond that, let's see. I think we're ready. Oh, we've got, okay, it's a dark box. It's a dark box of something. I always worry that they're going to send me something I've already had on the show. Now, I haven't had that many shows, but it does worry me sometimes. And let's see, are we ready? Pwah! Okay, what is this? This is a decorative lamp? Okay, I have no idea what this is, folks. Oh, it says it's from Linsol, though. It's from Linsol. It's from Lillian Dang. Look at this. It is from Lillian Dang. It's a little card in here. Oh, she's lovely. Let's see what it is. Let's open it up. And pwah! And it's thing. It's... Oh, it's just kind of cool. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, man. I wonder if... Because this came weeks ago. I'm wondering if this was to kind of celebrate Chinese New Year. Well, isn't that a lovely thing? I thought we were going to get a headphone, but it turns out it's just a little surprise from our friend Lillian Dang over at Linsol. And the links for Linsol are in the comments below this video if y'all are looking for something. And that one I don't have any affiliate. I don't have like a discount for. The other one for Audio 46 I do have a discount code for, and that's in the description below. And then there's a bunch of links down there to other things I use on the show. And anytime you guys use that stuff, it helps support the channel. This channel needs a lot of support. In case you haven't noticed, our financial sheet is looking pretty grim. So yeah, it's literally a decorative lamp. Yes, Jermal, it's 100% that, and it looks like I'm gonna go over the top. So it looks like this thing's got like a peely backy thing. Oh, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's just supposed to go like that. Well, I'm really curious. It's USB though, which is fortunate because the one thing you might have seen on the overhead shot here, and I'll direct the camera, is that this, peeking out here, there's like a 17. I have a 17 outlet USB strip for powering, recharging things. I use a lot of these little lights on the show. These are fantastic. They're from Aperture. They're about 99 bucks a piece. But what's really cool about them, first of all, they throw a ton of light, and then they also are full color. Look at this stuff. You can change them. You can change them. So really cool little lights. But they need to be recharged, and they're recharged over USB. So I have a lot of extra USB spigots sitting around to recharge these things. So I use them for everything. I use them when I'm shooting B-roll for the episodes. I use them to do a little uplight here because, you know, these bags need some help. And then they also go into the computer, so I can actually, like, if I want to load up a DAP digital audio player or something, I can do that on the computer. I'm trying to get this thing undone. Let's take a look, because it's far more interesting to look at what the hell I'm doing than my face that I say is made for radio. Okay, so let's plug this in and see what it is. I can't undo that. Let's see, what can we take out? I undo one and we're going to lose a camera. That would be bad. All right, let's see. All right. Oh, this isn't, you don't take the back off. Look at, oh, it's going to be, let's see if we can do a little adjustment here. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. That's cool. Now, I don't know if this back comes off. It's supposed to come off. It looks kind of like it's supposed to, but it might not. But it's really cool. It's a dragon. Or no, it's a woman playing a flute, which I love a good flute. Don't you love a good flute? Pretty cool. All right. Well, we got a new background thing. I'll find a place for this in the background. Thank you, Lillian Dang. She is such a nice lady and great folks over at Linsol. Great folks over at Linsol. Okay, so let's go down here. Let's see what's going on in the chat here. Standalone full episode tour, saw that. Live from Trinidad. Good Lord, what are you people watching me for? I'm wiring up some monopole Philco electrostatic speakers. Wow, that sounds awesome. And a couple of guitar bodies I found laying around. You know, I have 2 guitars. One of them I just put away because I haven't been playing guitar. I did this in the other episode, but I've got... Hold on 2 seconds, I'll show it to you. This, folks, and it's really kind of dusty right now, which is a shame, but I'll show it to you. Hang on. There we go. Best way to increase viewership, get off camera. Okay, this is a 56 reissue Les Paul. And I bought this years ago when I was getting into guitars, writing a lot of music for TV, and even sold a little bit of it. But I was using this. I love this guitar. I also have a Fender Strat that I put into storage, and this is going to go into storage too. And the reason is I don't have time to play it. And if I don't have time to play it, all it's doing is sitting around here gathering dust and aging. So I'd rather have it age in a very nice soft case. So yeah, that's the guitar. I have a guitar too. So very cool. But a pair of magnetic transducers in order to fill in the bass. So I'm assuming, I don't know what's a magnetic transducer. Anybody know? Guitar Bodies in the Desert. That's the name of my next album, by the way. Okay. 9:47. So I'm going to go about 10 more minutes, I think. I'll take your questions, whatever you got, and then we'll get off the air, and I want to clear the way for Andrew. His show's at 10:30, the Headphone show. And I definitely am not getting in the way of that thing. That is a great show, and I actually participate. I'll be over on the live stream for that just to hang out. I love watching the chat and while I'm doing other things and paying bills and stuff that we got to do. Up for me this week, I'm going to Santa Barbara tomorrow. I've got an interview with Will Smith about his new film that just came out, the one about Serena and Venus Williams. Very cool movie if you haven't seen it. Very cool. So I'm going to be doing that, and then later in the week I'm going to be in Palm Springs. I'm interviewing Don McLean. Remember American Pie? I have that record somewhere, but it's in the 2000. I'll never find it by the end of the live stream. But yeah, I'm going to be interviewing Don McLean. That's for Entertainment Tonight. That'll be for a feature. And then I've got something in San Diego coming up too. And then the Oscars are 3 weeks away. And Monday is the Oscars luncheon. That's a cool thing. They used to do it at the Beverly Hilton. Pardon me, I burped. I did that. They used to have it at the Beverly Hilton, and that's a hotel, a really fancy hotel in Beverly Hills with a big, huge pool, and we would stage all of our media crews around the pool at the poolside, and then we'd shoot across this pool, which they'd float a fancy Oscars logo on top of, and then you would do all of the people who are nominated would come in one by one all day long. Well, with COVID, they kind of moved it. It's not at the Hilton, it's at another hotel, so it's going to be more like hotel rooms that you're doing so that they can keep people more separated. We're still a little skittish out here in LA about the COVID. And I know, like, the rest of the country's like, it's a cold. But for us, people are a little more into it here in LA. Cape Town, Ty D. I have another South African viewer. a young guy who I sent him a T-shirt, a Director's Garage T-shirt, which I'd love to do someday. If you ever want a T-shirt thing, I'm going to do some merch at some point. It's all of this is about time, and as much as I want this show to be like huge, and you know, to make it huge, you have to do like three episodes a week, and at best I can do 2. So I'm like, to get this show up there, I'd have to start cranking out these episodes, and I have a day job, and that's going to always take precedence over what I'm doing here with you guys. But where was I going with that? I don't know where I was going with that. That's just a thing. So yeah, I can't do like more than an episode a week really to keep my sanity. I'm up until 2 a.m. doing these things every night. I'm usually editing from like 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. and then I have a 6 a.m. call. So not a lot of budget for sleep in this whole arrangement here. So kind of fun. Let's see. Does it make sense to change from Vioelectric to Ferrum? Well, it depends on your budget. This is from Dimitri. It depends on your budget. I don't know the Vioelectric. I've never had one, so I can't comment about that. I can tell you that the Ferramore Hypsos is phenomenal. It's a great stack, and I haven't put all the stuff that I put in here. Nothing has gotten better than it. So it's the best I have right now. I would love to get the Burson. I got that Burson Soloist Grand Tour. That thing looks insane, and they got a brand new color scheme for that too, with red knobs and stuff. Looks really kind of Star Warsy. It's kind of fun. But I don't know about the Vioelectric. It's just a matter of is it worth it for you? I mean, honestly, like if you're looking for headphone upgrades, in my opinion, I would go with a headphone before I go with an amp upgrade. Like because you're going to get more bang for your buck from a headphone upgrade than you will an amp ever. The amp is like that 20% on top, and the guts of it is going to be the you know, and then source. You know, you want a good source. So it depends on where the rest of that stuff is in your balance. That's what I'd always say. And where your budget is. Don't ever go into debt for audio gear. It's not the way to go, you know. So that's just a little tip from your resident idiot. Okay, so let's see what else we got. Opportunity to listen to the Ferrum. Yes, the Ferrum is fantastic. I will say that. Palmdale, Mask Heaven Central. Yeah, anybody in California is going to know what we go through here. Pink Floyd T-shirt. Okay, T-shirts. I buy from Amazon a lot. So I'll get, because you know I have a ton of T-shirts. I always have a different T-shirt almost every week. I buy a lot from Amazon. Amazon has a cool collection. Also, I'm such a dumb fool. I get suckered into any kind of ad. So like I'll be scrolling Facebook and like it'll come up with like, oh hey, look at this T-shirt about Bob and Doug McKenzie, and I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta have it. I click on it, and then I'm over there. I'm like, oh, there's a Speed Racer T-shirt. I gotta have that. How do I not have a Speed Racer T-shirt? It's my favorite cartoon ever. You know, all that kind of stuff from my childhood. So it's very funny. I'm not young, Ty D, not young anymore. Yeah, okay. I know Ty. Okay, we're all feeling the age these days. When I redid this room, I did this corner that was just a mess. There was a keyboard over there and a guitar amp, which is now I'm getting a case for so I can throw in the garage and keep it safe. But when I was redoing this room, I did so much lifting and so much storing in the crawl space underneath. I couldn't move for like 2 days. It's age. Age just catches up with you. Okay. Hi from Jakarta. God, don't you guys have something better to do in Jakarta than watch me? Okay. Would like to know your opinion of the Ferrum versus the GSX on the Meze. All right, I'd have to do that in an episode because I have the Meze Elite, but I have not listened to it on this stack. I have not done any Meze listening. In fact, I listened to the Focal for the first time in a long time the other day, probably 6 months. I haven't touched the Focal Utopia. I felt bad, and I'm like, I wanted to check it out on this rig. And I actually, by the way, the Focal I preferred on the GSX Mini. I have a hunch, being a planar magnetic, I'm probably going to want the Ferrum for the Elite, but I without doing some listening, that's just a guess. Nice review of the Odyssey LCD. The LCD stuff. I've been kind of working my way through the Odyssey headphones. I'm the next review that's coming Monday. If you missed the top of the show, coming on Monday or Tuesday, probably Tuesday, because like I said, Monday, horrible viewers on Monday. Not that you guys are horrible. You guys aren't. You guys are great. But the number of viewers I get on a Monday is really bad compared to Tuesday. If I launch an episode on Tuesday, it will do much, much better. And Wednesday. Tuesday, Wednesday are the great days. And then I had one Saturday launch that went fantastic for some reason, but it was probably just really something you guys really wanted to hear about. By the way, if you haven't liked or subscribed, please do that stuff down below. I always forget to do those pitches, and I always bury it in the middle, but whatever. Okay, jingles. Jingles on the show. I have ideas for what I want to do. The stuff, those custom things that have been popping in, and I'm getting more of them, and I'm kind of collecting them because I think they're a riot. And if you know my personality and we'll do more of these things, you'll understand kind of the angle that I'm coming from with this show. This is a show that I always wanted to do, and it's like very nostalgic. I do a lot of references in the show. I bury a lot of references in the copy, and I don't know if anybody picks up on any of it. Once in a while, I'll get like a note like, hey, that was from Blues Brothers, or hey, that was from Caddyshack, or whatever. And that's kind of fun. It means that somebody actually paid attention. But I do a lot of that stuff. But I love the nostalgia of the show, and one of the things that I have an affinity for is 70s AM radio. When I was growing up in Chicago, WLS AM was the king of everything, and the DJs were gods, and the programming was you lived by that programming. And the other thing is in the Midwest anyway, you need the weather report constantly because the weather changes so fast. So you always have the radio on, and we would always listen to WLS AM. So what I did was I copied some air checks and I sent it off to a guy who does jingles professionally. And his style is kind of disco-y. So I'm like, okay, it's kind of in the mode that I want, that mid to late 70s kind of era air checks from WLS. And I sent him a bunch of these, and he started messing with harmonies. And here's Holly. Hey, Holly, come here, buddy. Come here. Say hi. Say hi, Holly. This is Holly. You're live on YouTube, Holly. Okay, you can go. Didn't want to do that. So I have this affinity for 70s radio, and so I sent it off to this guy, and I said, I want to do stuff like this that sounds like these air checks. And that's what they did. He sent me back some samples, and I said, no, do this, and I kind of gave him some stuff. And then my wife is actually doing the vocals on them. If you hear the female voice in there, that's my wife. So I recorded her in here, and then I sent it off to, and it's in Indonesia or Singapore that the guy does these jingles, and I use Fiverr. So I send it out, and then he sends me back stuff, and pay for it, and there you go. So it's a way to get some custom stuff for the channel. I love stuff like that. It's really, really fun. Speaker reviews, no, not going to happen on the show, and the reason is I don't have any work. The space is not here. In order to do a speaker review, I would have to go to the living room, and my main amp, which I just sent out yesterday, I drove all the way downtown LA with a 200-pound Krell amp, which drives some Vandersteens in the living room. It's the amp fried up. I plugged it in for the first time in a while the other day and turned it on, and I got the fuse pop in the back and then a puff of smoke out of it. So said, I think this thing needs a recap. It's from the like mid 90s, but it's like one of those top end Krell amps, and I got a deal on it and said, I gotta go. I gotta have this. So I bought one of these fantastic Krell amps that you used to see at audio shows. Like this is the one that like you'd walk into one of those rooms at the audio show with the big fancy speakers. This was the amp that they were using in the mid 90s to drive everything. So it's a KSA something. It's a KSA 100S, something like that. But I had to, with the puff of smoke, I took it downtown to George Meyer, who repairs this stuff. And George Meyer is going to do a little solder job on it and probably do recaps, because the caps in that, if you guys know what caps are, they store energy inside of amps. They're basically a big battery, but they're batteries that can discharge really fast. And they have an electrolyte inside of them. And what happens is, over the years, that electrolyte does two things. One, it stops being able to hold charge, just like a battery. And then the other thing that happens is sometimes they'll leak. The seal on the cap will leak, and it will break out and kind of go over the circuit board. And you need to replace them. If you don't do anything about it, it will just corrode the circuit board and render it useless. If you have any old Macintoshes, they need to be recapped every like 20 years or something. So I did one myself once. I'm a horrible solderer, though. What else is going on here? What's your closed back go-to recommendation for mixing and engineering? That would be this headphone. Right here. This is the Neumann NDH-20. Howie loves the cord, by the way. He's a big fan. He's now playing with it. He now thinks it's something he's going to kill. This is the NDH-20. I use this for my critical mixing. I am looking for a replacement for this headphone because not terribly comfortable. These pads are not comfortable and not really removable either. So, yeah. NDH-20, they're very neutral and they don't enhance the bass at all, and you get a good representation of what you're listening to. So when I'm mixing the show and I need a pair of headphones, this is what I go to, but I am looking for a replacement pair. I can tell you what won't work. The Ether CX closed, the Drop Ether CX closed. That's for sale right now in the Director's Garage sale. That's also down below. I've got 3 things for sale down there right now. I've got the Phonitor, which is my old amp. Beautiful shape, nice amp, and I'm selling it for a good price. And then I've got the CX for $650 or so. Czar, thank you. Holy cow. That's very appreciated. I'm sitting down for the Resident Idiot. My day turns gray. Yes. Well, I appreciate that. That's very nice, very kind of you to say. But yeah, the CX closed, not good for mixing, too bright, not a good headphone for that. And then the Sennheiser, which I love the tonality on the Sennheiser, but the soundstage is so screwy. That's the 820 I'm talking about, closed back. And nobody likes this headphone but me. I don't know why, but I'm like, I happen to like, I think the tone is great. I think it's fun. But that's fine. Yeah, I love the tone on the 820, but the soundstage is so wacky, you can't mix on them. RAL requisite headphones are out to me. I never had, I auditioned the RAL at Can Jam a couple years ago, and I haven't returned to them. I thought they were neat, but they were so niche about, you're going to listen to music in a certain way, and so unless I'm down for that experience, and there's a little bit of the carbon in this, and you'll find out in the next episode. It does things in such a unique way that you can't really, it's not fair to even categorize them with an Abyss or with an LCD5 or any of these other great headphones. So yeah, it's a headphone that I would love to play with, but it's not one that I would necessarily want to own, I don't think. I'd love to audition. That's just my personal feeling on it after spending time with it for 10 minutes in a really loud room, which is a great place to audition anything. First high-end setup is a PS Audio 5. Very nice. Crow case 80. There you go, Arthur Haywood. That's the way to go. I love the old gear. I'm a huge fan of saving money wherever I can because this stuff is so expensive. I do look for used, and I do look for deals, and I watch Headfi. I'm sure all you guys do. Watch the classifieds on Headfi for deals. I think that's the way to go whenever you can. Sometimes it's a headphone, though, that you guys really, really want, and for that, I wind up buying. There's all this bias stuff. I don't know if you guys have been following the bias complaints that people have been having about us YouTube folks getting stuff for free. So I'm real careful about that on this show. I tend to buy a lot of my own stuff for review, and I get if I don't buy it, I get it from a store, not a manufacturer. And I have manufacturers contacting me all the time now as this show has grown, thanks to you guys liking and subscribing, which I could do right now. Thanks to you guys liking and subscribing, the manufacturers have been pouring in saying, hey, we'd love to send you this. Hey, we'd love to send you that. And as much as I'd like to do it, I've been holding back on that. And the reason I've been holding back on that is I want to keep objectivity. And when you start getting stuff free from manufacturers, even if it's just a loaner, you feel obligated to say something nice about it. And if I don't like something, I want to be free to say, this isn't for me. And I try not to trash stuff anyway, because people put, you know, this isn't the greatest headphone I've ever heard, but there are people in Germany or wherever they were that designed this that spent probably a year designing this thing and getting all of these little nuances just right and making the decision so that they could sit flat or fold up nice, because these are engineering headphones and engineers want to, you know, listen on the road and they need something that's compact, and they make all of these decisions in group and test them and go through all of the tuning and all of that to get these just the way they want them. And sometimes the end result is something that we don't like, and I totally appreciate that, you know, we have a right not to like something, but I also think that there needs to be some level of respect for the folks that put this stuff together, because this stuff, I'm using the Noble to do sort of spot monitoring today. And how about that music? You liking the music? It's had the music going on underneath it. People spend too much time on these things for me to just come in and trash them. I try to find, if I don't like it, it's usually for a reason, and I say, well, this is why I don't like it, but maybe somebody else will find this interesting or find this appealing. So I don't think you have to just like blast a product. That said, I want to be free to say, you know, this isn't working for me on this particular headphone without feeling like I'm slamming a manufacturer who was kind enough to send me a product. So that's that. Couple more things, and then I got to get off the air because I want to clear the way for Mr. Andrew at 10:30. Metrum recorder. Nuclear submarine. What's a Metrum recorder? Is that like a tape, some sort of reel-to-reel thing? Metrum recorder. That's really cool, Daniel. That's really neat. Open back for mixing. If I was going to mix on an open back, it would be the LCD5. That's the most accurate tonal thing. It's very much like an open back version of this with way more detail. I love the LCD5 for that purpose, but I don't like to mix on open backs. There's too much room stuff coming in, and when I'm trying to focus on a mix, I don't want the room to enter into the equation of the mix. Yeah, the forced bias. I really do try to avoid it, and it is kind of a signature of the show that I spend stupid money on things. I call it the big dumb guy effect. We're big dumb guys who do big dumb things in big ways, and you know, we're all. This hobby is ridiculous on some level. I think anybody who's in it realizes, you know, we're spending money to make something sound this much better, and we're spending thousands to make something sound this much better. Would I be fine with an HD 600 and, you know, a nice, this is the Cavalli, look at this up here, Cavalli tube hybrid that's buried under Pico Slim, love head amp, but Cavalli tube hybrid I got from Drop. Great sounding amp. Let's face it, HD 650, HD 600, and that amp will probably get you 90% of the way to the rest of these headphones that we go after. But I love them. You know, when you start hearing the detail that you get in something like the Susvara or the Abyss 1266 TC, a headphone which I was down on until I put them into the Ferrum. It did not impress me at all through the Woo, through the Phonitor Abyss 1266 TC, and I put it through the Ferrum, and it's like butter. It's like such a great synergy. It's one of my best sounding headphones I have in house right now, and I never ever thought that I would say that. A couple more things, and then we'll go. Okay, avoiding that forced bias is one of the reasons. Yes, we talked about bias. Yeah, we spend too much money on this stuff. and mini VHS tapes. Oh, okay. Yeah, you know, and I think one of my second show I did ever on the Director's Garage, if you go back, because I'm not counting this as an episode, I'm counting this as a live stream. This is live stream episode 1, but the next episode will be episode 99. That's the one that's going to drop about the carbon next week. If you go back to episode 2 or 3, I think it was episode 2, I went over some of the crazy ass formats that I have. One of them is DAT tape, and DAT, digital audio tape. That's one of those formats that died. Very much VHS cassette like, but it's only about this big. And I have a DAT player still, and I have boxes of DAT tape from back in the day. Stuff I recorded for music, for stuff we would bounce to DAT to deliver, because you couldn't just send somebody a file. We didn't have really an internet back then. Yes, I predate the internet. 128 channels? Holy shidoobies. That's amazing. Wow. I'm going to have to do a little Google session here when we're off the air and check out the Metrum. Very cool, Daniel Foster. Appreciate that. Yeah, the carbon is next, and that's what we're going to do, and you'll see that Tuesday. All right, folks, I'm going to start getting out of here, so we have 20 minutes for us to get up and have a little bathroom break and get your favorite cup of coffee, and we'll come back for Andrew's show at the Headphone show at 10:30, which will I'll be in the audience for that. I'll be in the chat for that. We can continue this offline, as they say. So that's going to be doing it for me. Thank you guys for stopping by today. We got a little light out of this. Very cool. Thank you, Lillian Dang. Thank you, Linsol. Thank you, Audio 46. Guys, the links below and all of that really help the channel out. Subscribe, like, all of the stuff. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. This has been kind of interesting, and it wasn't as disastrous as I thought it would be. I'm going to get on the air. I'm not going to know what to say, and I can't edit myself. You know, the best part about doing the show is that I can edit myself, you know? So we have the outro music. There we go. You recognize that. And I will see you guys in episode 99 before you know it.